self-sabotaging habits. What are some of those things that we allow in our lives that sabotage us? So I'll talk about two. Now, the first one is the imposter syndrome. Now, what is the imposter syndrome? Now, the imposter syndrome is a psychological feeling of being a phony. It's that feeling of doubt regardless of your expertise. So you're good at something and everyone knows that you're very, very good at that skill, but you feel doubtful about it. You feel scared. You feel like a phony. Now, the imposter syndrome is not humility. Humility is a proper judgment of what you're able to do and what you're not able to do. The imposter syndrome is regardless of how many times people tell you that you're good at something, you don't believe it. Now, I'll give you an example. When I went back to university to do my master's, I decided to do a course that is ideally because I'm an educator, it's ideally for educators. Now, when I joined school, I met, head teachers, I met directors of schools, I met owners of schools, I met teachers, and for some reason, I started doubting whether I belonged in that place. Why? Because when we do assignments and when we do, we'd go through the different courses, it was always about what is your school experience, what are you doing, as the school owner, what are some of the things that what are some of the challenges that you're facing as the school owner. And I got to a place where I started wondering, am I doing the right thing? So I started experiencing that imposter feeling, like I don't belong here. Now, how do you know that you are experiencing the imposter syndrome? Number one, you agonize over even the smallest flaw that you experience. So you are good at something. I'll use myself as an example. So I love training and I enjoy training children, I enjoy training teachers, I enjoy training, parents, and I've been told I'm good at it, So let's say I've been given an opportunity to do a speech in front of people. So I've written my speech down, I've rehearsed, I've gone over it over and over again. I've even practiced in front of people that I feel secure with. And then when I give the speech, after the speech is over and I ask, how did I do? Or I look at the notes that I'd written and I am like, why didn't I say this? So agonizing over even the smallest flaw that you have is a sign that you might be experiencing an imposter syndrome, attributing your success to luck or outside factors. So yes, I am good at training, I am good at, maybe giving speeches, but when somebody comes and compliments me and tells me, oh, you did an amazing job, I'm like, yeah, it was an easy group, or that was a simple topic to deal with. So I'm attributing my success to other things apart from the fact that I'm an expert in this area. So that could be also another sign that you're facing the imposter syndrome. Number three, being very sensitive to constructive criticism. So somebody comes to me and tells me, Lucy, when your videos are good, but you can change this or that. So it's constructive criticism that will help me become better in future. But I look at it as in such a comment makes me shut down. I say, maybe this thing is not for me. So that's another sign that you may be facing imposter syndrome. Number four, that feeling that you'll be found out as a phony eventually. Now, I have a story where this is concerned. Now, there's a time I did training for minors. This was one of those things of you've been thrown into the deep end. Now, when I went to do the training, it was a whole day training. And this group had been trained before by somebody who I looked up to. And I looked at as a who was very, very good at his work. So when I went to train them, of course, I was feeling so inadequate. I was feeling such a phony, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, they'll find out that I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, because I had no choice, I was a bit courageous and I started doing the training. So I was doing the training and it was going on well. I mean, I could see the participants were active and, they were engaged, and everything was going on okay until until the owner of the company showed up. So when he showed up, I was like, they will definitely discover that I'm a phony. So I continued, because then again I couldn't stop. Then the owner raised his hand and asked a question. And when he asked that question, he said, "You being the expert in this field, what do you think I should do?" That was, a turning point. I was like, what? He's listening to me and he's thinking that I'm an expert. From which angle? So anyway, I mean, you looking sign of being a phony is that feeling of, I'm able to do this, but eventually somebody will find out that I'm a phony. Number 5, you downplay your expertise even when everyone else tells you that you are so good at what you do. So that's another sign of the imposter syndrome, downplaying your expertise.